episode of The Plight of Princes. We're here for close to 8 o'clock. That counts, right? So then, my dearies, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Isn't that a lovely number? I don't know. Would it be actually okay? You're the last person to have watched it, so you actually would know what would happen.
100% here. This is a bad decision.
No, it is. So, Curls, what happened last week?
Fuck me? Really?
Look, that's what half the party says when they see Posey.
Okay. Last week we made some great decisions that worked out really well. We decided that now that we've obtained the Spire of Blackith from the bear that had it stuck in its skull, that we were going to do science, because we were stuck in a cave overnight in a blizzard anyway. We found some stuff on the body of a Zentarum, and then we're like, hey, when certain people touch these spires, like Kika, they have visions. What if we just all touched it and saw what happened? Because that's science.
Remember, kids, the only difference between science and messing about is writing it down.
Writing it down, and I took notes.
Shh.
We had a brief debate about power and responsibility before we went around the figurative table and all touched the Spire of Blackith to see who got visions. I was very convinced and very sure that I would not, and I did. Widdick did. Serenus and Lo accidentally had a joint one because Serenus tricked Lo into touching it at the same time he did.
Made him touch his
and a bunch of other stuff. And we started to debate about what we should do next, but then realised we should wait until the morning. And we began to rest, and a couple of us had a chat, but we are currently attempting to take a long rest, basically.
Sounds good.
Did I do it?
I think so.
Did you do a thing? Sure. We'll say you did a thing. Okay. Who would be on then next after King and Posey on a watch?
What's our pre-established rota?
That's on you fuckers, not me.
I know I normally take a watch, but
Girls, you have the rota written down in your notes.
Yeah, I do. It will be Runara and probably Lo.
Sure.
Probably because first watch is normally this watch list is mostly scribbled out. But the first watch is meant to be Runara and someone else, and the second one's meant to be Posey and someone else. And because I've done the second watch, I'll just swap them. So Runara and someone, maybe Lo.
Sure. Whoever you wake up, basically, because you're the one that's awake.
Sure, I'll wake up. Yeah, fuck it, I'll wake up Runara and Lo.
As gentle or as rough a kick as you receive, and you look up to see that there is Runara standing over you.
Wait.
I'm not specifying which one of you, because of course there'll be...
We're already
There's Runara standing over me.
Wait, Runara, I meant Posey. Damn it.
It's been a
Runara, are you okay?
It's been a day for
Runara, that bear fight, for a second there, you were seeing yourself projected.
Okay.
Your own watch.
Sure. Just nothing special. Just take my watch.
Yeah. It's difficult because obviously it's like, well, Widdick and Widdick and King are always kind of awake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick is always awake. I have got like 4 hours where I sort of zone out.
But you guys are actively watching for this time, so is
Yeah.
Loyalty woken up as well?
I thought someone was going to wake him up.
That's what I was saying. Is someone waking him up?
Yeah, I'll wake them both up before I go to bed.
Okay. Loyalty would definitely be the kind of person to sleep in the dramatic pose. Eventually, King and Widdick will begin their long rest chess. And Widdick will kick this shit out of King again.
Oh yeah.
So
Why did I waste a natural 20 on that?
Big oof.
Because now you can say you beat her at chess.
3 times.
Yeah.
He's quite good at it. Eventually we'll get that skill.
Maybe, who knows? You've been fighting the
Believe
same
it or not,
partner.
this is actually a thing I'm keeping track of.
So my
So, can I get perception checks from both Runara and Loyalty?
Sure. I'll guide myself.
And I would ask, where in the chamber are you guys sleeping?
I was the group.
I will be, if I can be up against the wall, but not, would it be too far away from the fire? Would I get too cold if I was up against the wall?
Probably would.
I will be as far away from everyone else as I can be without freezing to death.
I'll be as close to the
So
fire as I can
you'll
be.
be right next to everyone else, because
Don't forget
it's one
I've
of
got
those
an
moments
alarm.
of when you step 5 foot away
Yeah.
kind of thing, and you like sit down, it's like, oh,
yeah,
my ass is
the
sticking
temperature
already.
dropout is,
Fuck.
yeah.
Don't forget I've got the alarm set up at the back of the cave.
Yes, so that if anything comes in, you will know.
Yeah, we're probably not sleeping right at the back. We're probably like a little bit in,
Mhm.
but not all the
Oh,
way.
yeah, we set up, like, kind of, yeah.
We're certainly in
Take a
enough
bit.
that we're not getting cold, mind you.
Yeah.
yeah, like, we were
Well, that's cold.
Okay.
Yeah, you want perceptions, right?
Yes, from both of you.
Not that guidance will help.
Wow.
Count guidance.
Brilliant.
Declare it before you roll it.
He already
I did
declared.
say it when you said perception checks earlier.
declared
I
it
was
long
like,
ago.
guide myself. Not that it
Anita, are
matters.
you going to do a perception check?
Yeah.
Yeah, not that it matters if I called it or not, because it was the one. Yeah.
Well, you rolled the same, so.
Big oof.
yeah.
So, chat amongst yourselves, kids. You ain't watching shit.
Nara's not feeling very chatty. She's just going to sit and look at the fire for a bit and just meant to be on watch, but it's just looking into the fire.
You're meant to be on watch, but you're just associating.
Yeah. I'm having an out of body experience.
I hope not literally.
No, hopefully not.
We put the spy back in the bag, didn't we?
Yeah, after everybody was done.
Okay.
Posey!
I'm just
Posey just
I'm
kicks
fine.
up. We put the spider back to me!
too real.
When I was just there in her hand, just rocking forward.
Do something to me! Do something
Give me
to
a
me!
vision.
Include me, senpai!
Yeah, I'm gonna chill watch.
That's it. Spark.
Mhm.
About that thing you did for Posey back at the, big giant barky bear thing.
What thing? What, the healing or the? I mean, she was hurt. She nearly got eaten. So.
Yeah, she probably appreciates it. She's, putting up the wall.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. I thought you would.
Yeah, I know. I mean, she just got eaten by a bear, so she was probably in shock.
Yeah. You could say that. I'm not the only one. I
Shock
guess.
because it was lightning.
Yeah.
We'll tell King that one.
Yeah. Okay.
Just gonna hear.
Hey King, are you awake?
Yes, what is it?
When Posey nearly got eaten, she was in shock because the lightning damage. It was lightning.
I find this quite humorous.
I thought you would. Okay, sorry. You can go back to your chest. It's fine.
I'm
I
taking
can't
psychic
talk
damage
and
in my
chest at the
sleep.
same time. Although I
You're just
say
watching
that,
as,
I
like,
seem
as
to be
King
getting
looks
thrashed.
back. As King looks back, looked away. For that moment, Wittick took a turn, took a movement. Was a legal move, was a legal turn.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, I didn't see that coming.
And King's like,
Thing.
That's why
I
King.
just seem to be getting thrashed.
Also, Serenus is apparently having a BOSD, so there is just a man cuddled with 2 puppies at the back of this, surrounded by donkeys. If you guys do nothing else,
Yeah.
your watch goes relatively uneventful.
Lowell will be doing his usual thing of looking over to Posey, looking over to Serenus, then every now and again looking towards Kika, then back to Posey, Serenus, Kika, and just sort of doing it in a sort of cycle after random amounts of time.
At one point, somebody's just going to notice the antlers just rocking back one way, rocking back the other way, rocking back one way, rocking back the other way. He's like your own little tree that's just like shaking in the wind down there. And I will say that even though the storm has calmed, or no, excuse me, the thunder has calmed, but the blizzard is still very strong outside. And let's see now. Who goes after you guys then? Who's coming up then?
I'll offer to do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say whoever's left.
Yeah,
Wittick and Kika.
Yep.
Okay, so you two chill for your time. Your allotted period.
Fair enough.
Would
And
would
give
Garum
us-
also get a perception?
Well, your dog doesn't sleep because it's a machine lightning dog.
Oh, so what you're saying is, I need
So
to
the
roll for him
answer
every
is
time.
yes.
Okay.
I mean, you have a literal guard dog
Yeah.
that can telepathically go "fuck" in your ear.
Just sitting there. Fuck! Oh, something there? Just...
No, I stubbed my toe.
King says, when I went to buy this chessboard, I was asked how I would pay for it. I said, by check, mate.
I didn't realize you spoke Underdark.
I do. I speak all Elven languages. I'm glad you picked up on it.
Just in the distance, you hear a wow, 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 wow.
How did you learn
Carrying
my
over the
accent?
Oh,
You stay down there, Underdark. I don't want you.
Stomps on the ground. Be quiet down there.
roll.
Roll 20 roll 20 did die of death.
Yeah.
Heckin'
'cause I'm-
rip.
I was just sitting here, I was about to roll, and then it just showed me, and I'm like, where'd everyone go?
Where'd my friends go?
It did say that Roll20 is experiencing a lot of use at the
Interruption.
moment. Oop, oop, oop. I can see Das.
Yep.
You can see me, that's all that matters, baby. How to do the ugliest smile wink ever.
Fucking A.
Technical issues.
It's like, how many things do I have? It's like, oh, I have this boy, and I have that boy. Oh yeah, and that guy. He was fun. I'm a dragon.
Oh god, people are rejoining and then they're dropping again.
I get knocked down. I get up again.
I'm going
I
to
get knocked
try
down.
to make a roll. I rolled an 11. I don't know if anybody has seen it.
Not yet.
Nope.
Nope.
I've rolled both mine. Oh.
Well, theater of the mind is a wonderful thing. Even if Roll20 might not cooperate 100%.
Well, I rolled an 11, so make of that
I
little
got
bit.
Garm got 20, and I got a 4.
Thank God for the dog.
Garm does alert you. He can't.
Sorry about that, back.
He can't tell what. There is
Oh,
something. There we go. Everything loaded. He can't tell where or what, but there is something lingering. Doesn't know how to explain it.
Sorry I had to be away for like half a second.
You're good. But it's not
I
like
was the
one
dog,
area
but-
he's looking at. It's all around.
I'll get the lantern of revealing out. and light it.
When you turn on the lantern, when you activate it, and you just like begin hovering it around, it's like turning on an ultraviolet light that is displaying pictographs. Because all around all the icy walls of this cave, you can just see these small shapes just floating towards the back of the room. Towards the ice slab that's at the very back. Just little by little. And when you turn that lantern and you're going towards the back of the room, you eventually just see a very, when I say small, comparatively, small earth-sign shape being formed at the back of the room as the spirits just very slowly begin going back. I say spirits because it's the only real accurate term. Small, wispy fragments all coming back to one point.
That doesn't seem good.
No.
Everybody up!
What?
So, we have some spirit coalition. I don't know what it means.
Is it the bear? It looks like the bear.
It looks like the bear, but about 6 foot long, like from little stubby butt tail to muzzle at the front. But it's as if you took a cub and just like stretched it, like in all ways, like, you know, just expanded the appearance of a cub.
I'm gonna do a divine sense.
What does your divine sense allow you to see?
Until the end of my next turn, you know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of you. That is not behind
Interestingly
total cover.
enough, there is no fiend.
Good.
And there is no... What was the other one? Fiend...
Celestial or
Celestial
undead.
and undead.
There was no undead.
Good.
Very faintly you sense just a touch of celestial.
Ooh.
Right. Spirit. Bear. I will walk towards it.
Bearing in mind, only when you have the lantern up can you see it. Once you turn it away, it's not present.
I'll set the lantern down before I actually get near it, so I can
Okay.
just keep the view up.
That's alright. It seems unconscious. Sleep. But it's curled up into itself.
Would I have ever heard of something like this happening in terms of like, or like holy wise, or like,
Make a religion check
Okay.
if you would like to make this a religious matter.
I no, I. 18.
You have heard of legends of celestial bodies at certain points, particularly things that have either some form of guardianship or duty, being reincarnated. While you have not heard the details of it, while you have not, say, heard a particular example and seen a step-by-step detailing, maybe something like this. I mean, if you, to yourself, as you look at it, if you were to look at a situation where someone asked you to explain what a celestial spirit reincarnating looks like, you'd probably point at something like this. And I will say, as the closer to the dawn it comes, the blizzard is getting quieter and quieter.
Well, I'll keep the lantern on it. Basically, have just everybody go back to sleep. keep an eye on.
Okay.
Because if the actual spirit itself is just in a state of sleeping, then it should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Should being the key word there. Should be, but
Should be.
who knows? Which is why I'm going to keep looking at it.
You keep watch, cautious and curious. After a few more hours of your watch, and everyone else begins now a fair bit more uneasy waking up in the morning due to the fact of, guys, wait, no, maybe false alarm, I don't know, go back to bed. Everyone eventually wakes up, and when the sun crests the hills outside, the bear consolidates back into a corporeal form.
Oh.
But at this point, it's maybe not even 8 foot, 10 foot, like dimension wise. It's a large creature, and it is definitely a matured bear by the look of it, but it's still asleep.
This is a little out of my realm of expertise. But as it is dawn, shall we leave this, whatever it is, an offering and be on our way?
I like that idea. That sounds
Yep,
nice.
yep.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep.
Move. Quietly.
I take some of my rations and leave it and do a bit of a curtsy.
Actually, that's also the divine sense. It says within the same radius. You also detect the presence, any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated, as with the hollows.
That
Like-
you have found a consecrated place.
Oh.
Okay. So,
But
Alright.
Do you
the
share that
equivalent
information
of
with us?
the equivalent of consecration, as to the equivalent of once this was a place of power that has been faded away over time. There's still those embers at the bottom of the torch just still there, but it has not been repaired or tended to in quite some time.
right.
And as King leaves out those rations and anyone else who leaves a bit of food, you can just
I
begin to see that nose begin wiggling. No. No. And it's the idea of, like, if you've ever seen the video of the pig that's got its nose out underneath the blanket, that's the first thing that just begins moving by itself nearly whilst it's still asleep.
It's like most.
After you.
Go ahead. Ladies first.
So it's still sleeping at the moment, is it? Like,
Yes,
in the
but
cave.
it's one of those things of it's being roused awake currently.
Okay. We're just wondering if it's wise. Are we still near it, or are we at this point thinking that we should leave?
Are you guys? Like, I know you said you
We're
left your
going-
rations, but would you be
Yeah,
stepping away?
basically just
I'll be
put everything
leaving
Go.
now that it's dawn. Once I get to the outside of the cave, I'll look back and whisper under my breath, thank you for letting us stay in your home.
You can just see like the equivalent of a very, very sore and tired animal just like pulling itself up, and you left it on like a slab nearby it of ice, and it's just like pulling over, and just begins quickly removing anything you had. Just
Very sort of like rudimentary, because she probably only really. I was about to say she probably only did this as a child. She's still a child. Kika will like just grab some like little bits of small branches and maybe grass and stuff, and will it kind of doesn't look like anything, but she thinks it will mean well, and she like kind of weaves one of her own sparkly feathers with a little bit of grass and branch, and kind of like hang it slightly around the cave in a sort of pseudo dream catcher-esque kind of thing.
Lo will
Let's
notice her.
Make a dexterity check just to like make it.
It's probably
How we
not
say
going
it.
to be very good.
Can I just ask if I can help with that somehow? You know, like a
You want to
like
assist
a
her to give her
Jotun's
advantage?
rubber
Sure.
or something. Yeah.
Like one of those things of holding it for her while she does like a twist or a knot on it, because you don't really know what you're doing, but you give you the extra hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say make a dexterity check with advantage then. Blue.
14.
14. A respectable dreamcatcher. And you just leave it. You put it up and just like a piton or something, you just it in and it just hangs at the top of the entrance.
This is for you. I hope it helps you sleep.
And get better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we really must be on our way.
Yeah, let's get out of here and back to hopefully the car.
Yeah, collect everything up.
Okay, you collect your donkeys, you collect your puppies, and you make your way.
Collect the lamp.
How long is it back to the cart?
It's gonna take about 4 hours.
Okay. King.
I would say this as well. Who would like to make
Sorry,
a
I was pushing the wrong button.
You're
Yes.
fine.
Cool.
Just real quickly, who would like to make a perception
Carl.
check for the way back? Because it's a bunch of freshly laid snow.
I mean, Serenus is the one who got us here, so Serenus would
Yeah.
be the one in character.
I
so-
will control him and have him
Yeah.
roll for you guys then.
Guidance.
Yeah, it's probably
with some
reasonable.
assistance.
Roll you roll the d4 for the guidance. Let's see now. Party.
Good guidance.
Making up for the
Nice.
one.
Yeah.
There are no numbers.
So I made that well, it's the same roll anyway. No, excuse me, is it? No, it isn't. Add 3 to that and then add 4, so that will be 7 onto that, 19. So yeah,
Nice.
takes him about 3 hours for Serenus to find his way back, guiding you guys back while he holds 2 puppies, 1 in each hand.
But yeah, King.
Yes, Posey, how can I help?
Do you still have that ring from yesterday?
The ring that I identified,
Yes.
that
That
was
makes
given
people
to
different.
Wittick with the rest of the items.
Okay, sorry, thank you. Whittick!
Yeah.
I'm very transparent here. Hey, do you still have that ring?
Arm going like halfway into the back. There you go.
Which he doesn't need to do. Like, he just put, like, 2 fingers in to take it out. It's just comedic effect.
It's
of
the
just-
drama.
It's just like this 3-foot long arm just going, whoop.
Maybe let me check.
I imagine that's what it's like when you rummage
Oh,
around the
boy.
bag, more when you
Yeah.
can't remember what you're looking for.
You have to do like the full Mary Poppins.
Yeah. I was about
Mary
to say,
Poppins
there's a
was an
lamp in
artificer with a
there.
bag of holding.
Yeah.
I honestly still love the idea that somebody took a Warforged and put a bag of holding in their mouth. It was just
Ah.
But then you got to stick your hand in their mouth every time.
Oh,
Wait till that
like
motherfucker
this.
decides to bite. Then it becomes a bag of devouring.
No, then
how they're
it
made.
becomes Vor and the stream gets cancelled.
Banned
Oh,
from Twitch
no.
forever.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, I'll pull the ring
Anyway.
out of the bag and
I was gonna say, can I have it? Thank you.
Posey,
That's
you
one
now
way
have
to
a
use a
ring.
bag of hour.
Posey,
I
now
will-
you now have a ring of invisibility.
Yeah, and I will tune to that on the walk back.
Nice.
And be very excited about it in general.
It takes an action to perform it, bonus action to drop
Action to
it,
become visible.
and you use an action or you use an attack action, an action, or cast a spell, and it will drop. But you can
Yep.
pick things up.
Normal
But
invisibility.
once you put the ring on, anything you have on you at that time bounce with you. But
Yeah.
when you pick something up, it doesn't become invisible.
Yeah.
So you will be carrying
Standard
just the
invisibility rules.
it will be just the floating jug in the distance where nobody actually.
I was gonna say the floating computer monitor and.
Good news, we don't need the monitor.
Yeet.
Man, I want to
Yeah.
rewatch that now.
Alright, I'm gonna go just take this.
These are all visions of my future, right?
Grabbing a bagel.
Why is that bagel going? Where's it going? Why is it now running?
Oh, bagel!
He saw the bagel.
Why is the bagel frantically running from? What's worse is with D&D, we could also just be talking about a situation where our bagel just happens to be animate and running away.
Memes.
So then,
You know, Beholden dreams that it could just be a sentient bagel running around.
behold the bagel.
Hey.
So you're making
Got
your way.
everything. Fireball.
Disintegration ring.
Oh, poor bagel! It uses it uses fireball and suddenly ashes.
Oh,
I
then
was
it's a
thinking-
toasted bagel with superior. Anyway.
I don't
That
know.
is not a question
D&D
involving
race. The
bagel.
joke's gone too far.
Sorry.
I was thinking how of brilliance with the bagel. Anyway, so, and the topics just fly off as you cast the spells.
Shut it down. Shut it down.
Good, I'm
Everything
done.
has to end.
Stop!
I didn't even break this. We all thought it was gonna be me.
I like friendship not that much.
God damn you all, right. We will leave the beholden bagel for Ladle.
Lead.
Ladle.
Oh dear.
Shut it down. End the stream. It's over.
Shut down.
It's it.
Good night, everyone. I'm
Good night.
not peeking above this.
Okay. Das, do the narration.
Can I? Am I able?
Yes, please pull the curtain on this.
I haven't had any
please.
bagels, but I had a waffle for dinner.
Jesus Christ. End it. End it now.
So,
And
whilst effort is made on Serenus's part, and with that high roll, you manage to evade several sections where it's like, those mounds of snow look particularly fresh compared to the other ones. Let's go 200 feet around those, and you therefore avoid Yetis.
This is a good thing.
Depends, they could be talking about their Lord and Savior, the Frostmaiden.
Oh yeah, I assume we all got our long rest.
Oh yeah, you got your long rest.
Oh, thank fuck.
Oh, sorry, I didn't use the magic words.
Yeah.
Yep.
That you very heavily emphasized Narrowin last time of like, no Daz, until you say the magic words, we didn't get a long rest. We don't trust you.
That's just confirm it's half your hit dice when you
Yes.
long rest. You get back, right? Okay. Half your total, not half your remaining.
Half your total, yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you
okay.
can never regain them all. Oh, you could, but it'd be pain in the
If you
ass.
round it up, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'd be pain in the
yeah,
ass. So, you continue your journey, eventually making your way back to the road, and you do find the cart still wedged up against a wrecked Githyanki ship. Doesn't seem to have been bothered, managed, or investigated in the time. There's a heavy layer of snow from the night before.
I will grab the other Spire of Blacketh and put it in the bag. Because we left that one on the fucking cart.
No,
No, we
the
didn't. The other
Wait,
one's,
no.
the other one's back in
Seriously?
We had
Wait.
one that... Because we thought it was too heavy for us to carry.
No, but did we
no,
leave
no,
that?
you brought that back to Neverwinter.
We took that back
Yeah,
to
Legacy.
okay,
Legacy
okay.
still
Yeah,
has that.
I was going to say,
Okay.
wait, we've got
I thought we- I thought we
Legacy
still
or
had
the
one on
Lady in Red have that.
Yeah, we
And-
dropped
Yeah.
it off when we went
Yeah.
back.
No, it's all good. It's all
We
good.
left-
Yeah, I thought we still had one, honestly. My bad.
Narrow had that distinct moment of, wait a minute, has Daz just like had a ship waiting this whole time to be like, oh, they found another one?
just can someone just go? Was it Legacy that told us to get the spires, or was it
No,
Lady
it was
in
the
Red?
Lady in Red.
Lady in
It
Red.
was Lady in Red.
She
Well, kind of both, but yeah,
she
Lady
did
in Red
the
gave us the
ultimate.
quest.
She did the ultimate scrying and
Yeah.
investigation on
Told
that
us where
thing,
they
and when
were
she
and
needed
stuff.
the rest of them.
She was also the one that we did not ask what they were or what their purpose was. But that's fine.
Nope.
I'm not bitter.
You're salty, we know. Curls,
Yeah,
would you like to
okay.
investigate the ships? It might make you feel better.
I'm thinking about it, but Posey's too much of a coward. But it's not buried in snow.
Why don't
It's still
you-
there.
Why don't you raid the ship and then you'll feel better?
I do kind of want to out of character.
I mean, you have a ring of invisibility.
Do
so.
it.
Posey, no.
Girls, yes.
Girls, yes. Posey, no.
Hang on, you just need some help from somebody else who will encourage your shenanigans. Krauser!
I'm in character right now.
Unfortunately,
encourage
he's
nothing.
playing a cleric.
I think
Okay,
you'll find
guys,
playing a cleric does not stop
guys,
shenanigans.
King does note, it surprises me that we haven't encountered any Gith to retrieve their equipment.
Well, does that
This is
surprise you?
possibly
Or,
this is possibly more of an indication we should not go in there. It may very well be for a good reason.
No, well, if you remember last time when we killed some Gith, they got magically taken away. So one would assume any Gith that have been killed here or died here have been magically taken away. So I don't think we're going to find any Gith corpses.
Yes, but I was expecting reinforcements to retrieve anything of value in there. Although I suppose the other option there is that there is nothing left of value in there and it has gone with them.
You never know.
Would you like to investigate?
Shenanigans?
Is it,
Nope.
should we look? I mean, maybe they might have a map or something that they
I
were using.
doubt they would be leaving battle
How-
plans.
How, and I know it's what kind of scale is this ship?
The ship
Is
would
it just
probably...
Like, if it was an ocean ship, would it be like a small boat, or would it be like a vessel?
Hang on, I'll get up an actual size for you in
Yeah.
just a moment.
Because my brain is like full XCOM. I'm like, it can't be a
Not
ship
far
that
off,
big.
actually. Not
Yeah.
far off. You're not
Like,
far off
how
on
big is
scale
the
in
ship?
regards to it.
Where their insistence of not allowing us to interrogate their people, I don't think they would leave obvious battle plans lying around. Unless they intended it as a trap.
So, just a moment. Looking at the interior of the ship, I'm first just going to get a scale up for it, just a moment. The ship
do I-
is 90 foot long.
Why do I get the feeling this is the DM's way of saying, I've set up an encounter in here, walk into my trap, damn it.
Here is the map that I
And 20 foot wide.
Why is there a map for this instance?
There isn't a map, I just googled
So it's like
ships.
a long
Ah.
ship essentially.
It's essentially the equivalent to a large long ship.
Yeah.
You do notice along the actual hull of the ship itself, though they are now dulled out and not active, there are what would appear like a form of turret, but looking at it, you can't quite understand how it would function.
So what you're saying is I couldn't do a halo, get up there, take it off, and just run off somewhere.
Are there any rejuvenation stations in this ship?
No, that was a mind flayer ship.
Oh fuck yeah, it was. Shit.
Would you like to go in a mind flayer ship, Kay?
No,
Would
Definitely
you
not.
like to go in a mind flayer ship,
Definitely
Kay?
not.
Not today.
I can't remember the
No,
name.
So what are
I
you,
can't remember
grunts?
the
You're just
names.
gonna
Is-
fix the cannon?
This is oh god. This is one of those things where out of character I have questions, but I don't in character I probably wouldn't be prepared for that.
And I will
No
say as well, the
Nataloids,
size of the
please.
ship, like, say, from the bottom of the hull, which you can't fully see because it's in the ground and snow, to the top it's about maybe 20 foot. So there's definitely, like, another layer underneath of it of things. There's, like, at least 1 or 2 floors.
I'm sure we asked this when we came in, but is it like obviously damaged?
It obviously looks like it got hit by lightning a lot.
Right.
And probably came far too close to a giant bear,
Fair.
which smacked that bitch out the
I
sky.
have so many questions.
Like a cat, just bat.
Whilst I
Can we
do
make that
concur there
assumption?
could be invaluable information in there, it is also a highly risky operation.
Do you know
if
shit
deal
about
with-
Gith ships?
Nope, I know random shit about, people don't usually leave their battle plans lying around.
True.
Well, I
it
mean,
looks like
we've
it's
only had.
is there like obvious claw marks in it alongside the lightning burns?
There is one massive chunk, more or less, ripped out the side of it, which is about maybe like from your encounter, probably about that bear's paw size, just batted out, which you did lean the cart up against as like a thing.
I mean, we've only actually had one other encounter with a Gith ship,
But that was only a 2-person ship.
but even then, we kind of we noticed there wasn't really anything else on that ship other than just them.
Yes, but that was more like the equivalent of say
rowboat.
like not even a rowboat. It was the equivalent of, I have no other way to say what kind of ship I can describe it as except Treasure Planet, like little fucking skateboard things.
Oh, it
kind of
basically
like a catcher in a door.
basically in the sense of a
glider thing.
kayak.
More or
It's
less,
enough for
just barely enough for 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they tried to
Yeah.
put Glory and Ash's angry daughter on it, and they didn't think something bad was going to happen.
right.
We should go.
Yep.
Yeah, but where?
Strongly agree.
Are we going to go back?
I mean, we need to head generally south either way, so we may as well start down the road.
Where were we going to go back to see the mermaid people? Or?
Yeah, we're gonna go to Port Last so Wittick can talk to the merfolk since they wanted to give him a thing.
Sure. And how long will it take us to get there? Roughly, yeah.
Normal travel speed. Go how?
Just a moment now.
Place it.
It's going to take you like the bones of maybe 4 or 5 days a week.
It's about just under 300 miles.
Oh, look at that.
Travel pace assumes characters travel for 8 hours in a day. They can be on that limit.
Nearly 250 miles, nearly,
There you go.
give or
Much
take.
more accurate than what I was doing. One was a very, very inaccurate version of that.
So if we go, normal pace, we go 24 miles in a day.
So 10 days, basically.
So, if you wanted to go faster on a few days, which you probably could after you get past Loskin,
How many days have we got until your meeting?
Technically 8.
So
Okay,
we do
well,
need to- so we have got
a steady
roughly
pace, it'll
the-
take us about
Or
10 and a half
at least
days.
that's what I have down.
roughly.
Because
Yeah.
I've been trying to.
No, you've been keeping a very good track of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I have.
I think we travel carefully up to Luskin. Once we're on the higher road, that's where we
That's,
spend some
fucking-
time.
that's reasonable.
Book it.
Yeah.
for
Where it's
us,
safer.
more or less.
Well, I'd like to think safer.
You're
Well, I
also a
think
level
three.
higher.
So I
Yeah,
think well,
because then once we're on the high road, we can go at a fast pace where we have.
Once you're on the high
30
road,
miles a
you
day.
take the low
Yeah.
road.
yeah, I think we make up time on the high road, but not here on the in the snow.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'll agree with that.
Let's see.
And then what, we're gonna do that and then go back to Neverwinter and drop off this spire, or
I think we did talk
Well, we'd
about
have to
that.
call on the red. Yeah, we'd have to call
Yeah.
on the lady.
We
Yeah.
can debate about this on the
Yeah,
road.
we could debate it on the way, but I think that we
But
were
there's like
leaning-
3 options, really.
Yeah, we were leaning towards that choice just because it was so close.
Mm-hmm.
okay. Well, do you want me to send her a message or find out where she is, or if she can come collect, or
Maybe when we're a bit closer.
King. My dearie dear. And who else? Wittick. Give us a perception check, please.
Does Garnham get one too? Hey, I have this thing. I'm gonna use it as much as I can.
No.
Abuse it, abuse it, abuse it.
Can my
Oh.
dog come?
Your dog can't get involved. No.
That's fine. Fuck.
Oops, sorry, better back phone.
No worries. Lot of snow.
I guess we just start. Oh, how about supplies wise? What's our rations looking like? Wagon. Oh, I've not got supplies rations written down there.
I mean, we definitely resupplied like when we were at least at Bryn Shandar.
Yeah, I was gonna say we resupplied in Bryn Shandar for sure.
And I was going to say
you made the effort to do this. Yes.
I was going to say that there is that small orc camp.
The little red circle.
Just by the river.
Carhold.
That's a good shout, actually. So if we need anything.
So even if we did have a short supply of rations, there might be something there. Either way.
Okay, yeah, that's a good shout. Okay, I guess we just start our journey.
As you turn and you make your way out, taking away your cart and getting everything up. Wittick, from your passive perception, 3 of the turrets on the ship light up, and you all hear in your head, I know that's not the best first step, but I need you all to remain calm. It's not being spoken in a language. You just understand.
A look of very not remaining calm comes over Kika's face.
I'm gonna insight check the voice.
By all means, insight check the voice in your head.
What is the setup right now? I guess we would just get in the cart ready.
Just back
we're
on the
setting
road.
up on the road.
We're on the cart. We're moving.
And essentially, it's about 40-50 foot away from you is the actual ship's turrets.
And who is this voice that is speaking to us?
At present, I do not know where you stand politically. I do not know where your nations stand in regards to order and chaos, violence and peace. I would like to find out first where you stand on those matters before I give names or identities. This is for the well-being of me and my fellows. I hope you understand that I need to make sure that my people are safe. But you spent a long time being very close to the ship, and you spoke of encounters previous, and I would like to know about those, if you will please tell me.
It's very difficult.
Sorry about that, I'm back.
Oh, what a thing to miss!
Well,
So much happened!
What a thing to miss!
We're getting spoken to telepathically, and all these guns are pointing at us from the ship. We don't see anyone.
They're not pointed at you,
They're lit up.
They're
activated.
split up in terms of they will be pointed at us if it becomes a case of that.
They're asking about our moral, political, and just general standings.
That's not like a short answer.
Yeah, it's very
You've got
difficult.
time.
It's very difficult to speak to someone that you can't see.
Well, I'm not looking at you right now, but I can perfectly speak to you.
I mean, it'd be easier.
It would be easier for you to target us. Again, please understand. And also, Wittick, I will say, they seem very calm. The voice is monotone, but not to the point of cold, but to the point of serene, calm.
Very, very animated.
Sorry, can you tell me what they said exactly to us? I got morally, politically, or something?
Yeah, they asked for like our moral, political standings.
Right, before
like...
names have been being given, we have to say how we are in terms of the political and moral landscape of this whole debacle going on right now.
And something about order and chaos.
Yeah, order and chaos, war and peace.
They heard us mention. They heard us stand near the ships and mention that we'd encountered one previously, and they want to know about that encounter. But it's not been implied whether they want to know because they're with them or against them. So we don't know what to do.
I will announce to them, I am king. I am the path of law for the benefit of all.
Make a persuasion check.
There's a dog upstairs barking. I don't know why.
Oof.
Then this is a place where we can begin. King who follows the path of law. My
Shall we
name,
parlay?
I will give you my name. It is Huzzah.
Sorry, say that again?
Huzzah.
Huzzah.
Who?
Oh, Huzzah. Okay.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Huzzah.
I wish it were under better circumstances.
As do I. Shall we come aboard your ship and parlay?
This is not our ship. And you may not for now come aboard.
Very well.
Quick out of character. Kay, if they are mind flayers, I'm going to punch you.
But this isn't an Autoloid.
They probably are.
Hey, they might have captured some. Who knows? Kay was like,
Yeah,
oh,
there's
hey, is there a
precedent for
generation
that, actually.
pod?
Kay set you up for ruin. You didn't even know it.
Nah. Be alright.
That's just normal K.
Yeah. God damn it, Kay.
It's all good. Anyway, back in.
Very well. Let us talk.
You said previously that you had encountered Gith before.
Indeed we have.
You must understand. I would like to know as to how your encounters last went with them.
I cannot lie. We are currently operating against them.
Your honesty is appreciated. If it is honesty.
And what about you? Where do you lie in this?
If it would make you feel better. No, despite anything else you may seem, there is no love in my heart for the warmongers.
War is always an unfortunate disassemblement of proper civilization.
I am speaking on behalf of my fellows because none of them are capable of doing what I am doing right now.
Okay, well, now we've had a nice little sharing session. We're still not exactly even on this parlay. You can see us. We can't see you. We know one of your names. You know one of ours. I think it's only fair that you show your face.
Make a persuasion check, Renara.
Oh gosh, can I grind this myself, or is that?
Sure, you're declaring it.
I don't think this will matter, but I'm gonna go invisible.
That's a 13.
Make a stealth check with advantage, Posey. With advantage, so roll again. I'll take that 17.
It's a bad roll for me.
Yeah, you've got good stats.
I'm going to go elf form with the man.
Your people need to stop shifting and moving. My younger associates are getting nervous.
We're also
Surely you
nervous.
can. Yeah, you can understand that we might be a little bit nervous.
That is
believe-
understandable.
I believe they have us at a disadvantage, and it would be reasonable to stand still when
I mean-
having arms pointed at you.
They think we're at a disadvantage. But
What we do know is that you have encountered them before, and you're still standing, which means you have some level of capacity.
Runara, remind me to play cards with you sometime. regarding the effects of tipping your hand.
Don't know what that means.
That is most evident.
You see a pale yellow-green hand touch over the top of the ship and pull themselves up. You see this tri-point beard coming down just from the side of the lips down, and then one just underneath the chin that goes down all the way, probably about an inch or two down from the side of the chins and there. There's these little slight darkened points across the brows with these brown haired brows and the beard as well. The nose is more is nearly non-existent. It is just almost like two flat slits, and the face is very thin and angular, like a smooth triangle aimed down.
Now, out of character, I'm pretty sure I know what this is, but in character, we've never seen this before. This type of race before, I assume. Or it's very similar to
You've
something
seen
we've
a
seen
Gith
probably.
before,
Yeah.
and this is a Gith.
Having seen your race, if you'll forgive me, I believe it might be time to announce our organization's affiliations. I will admit we are a collection of individuals. However, we are currently on mercenary work on the behest of Neverwinter. We are no official group, making our operation somewhat clandestine, but I suppose you could call us Neverwinter's response.
A very slight bow to the head. And bear in mind, they are listening to you. But as they're listening to you, their eyes are just, every time one of you twitches a finger or like shuffles in your place, just the eyes watching every single movement.
King is very good at being still.
Yes, you are, but everyone else is what they're watching.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm very fidgety.
Low is low.
I know. Well then. You have assisted your own people against the Gith Yankee. That is an admirable effort. After being on the receiving end of one of their raids, few could muster the courage to do so. What is it that you've been sent to respond to?
The attack on Neverwinter.
Are these ships your handiwork?
They are not. They were like this when we arrived.
Your friend cannot decide if she is bobbing her head or shaking her head.
I watched that too.
That was all in character as well. I was hoping you noticed that. Okay, that's fine.
Neverwinter was attacked, as far as I know, unprovoked. Although I must admit, I am not fully aware of the political climate.
A clever
But as
way
we
to
are,
take a position.
as we are around the individuals, although I hope to run a kingdom, I have no such thing. We must choose a side.
Well,
And as we were in the middle of the attack, it seemed we had no friends in the Gith.
none do. It is hard to even say if the Gith count themselves amongst friends. If you have an enemy in the Gith Yankee, then you have an ally in the Gith Sarai. And that's why we're taking a break.
Da-da-da-da-da-da!
Oh, good. I was literally about to message you to ask for a break.
Yeah.
King doing
Ring,
politics!
ring, ring.
I cast fireball.
I'm already in another political situation. I don't want another.
Literally, as soon as you said,
Go to break,
we do
cut
not- okay, let me go.
Yeah,
let me
yeah.
go to break.
When we come back.
Oh.
Also, girls.
Hello.
Token.
Welcome back. So then, the Gith Zerai Huzar has leaned themselves over the wreckage of the Githyanki ship you had encountered recently. Only their head and their hand is exposed, but they have a hood that is this dark green to black color.
Bless you.
It's very particular golding in, like, I'm not sure what the proper term is, but engraving, embellished, emblazoning, whatever the
Gilding.
term is, gilding into the actual design and down the neck. So then, you are not allies to the Gith Yankee. As such, you may have an ally in us. The enemy of my enemy may very well be my friend, but that does not imply you are yet of the right caliber to speak with us, if that were to make sense.
Understandable.
So then, you said you were in response to the horrendous assault upon your town of Neverwinter.
Correct.
How is going to the other side of your continent a response?
We have been put in response of numerous things. And just as well we're here, as it appears that the Githyanki have indeed crashed several ships here.
Indeed, we will be harvesting what we can from these.
By all means. If you have any information to share that would be of detriment to them, and would be no loss to you in sharing, we would be most pleased to receive it.
Is this the first time one of your kin has spoken to one of mine, then?
To the best of my knowledge, as I said, we are not privy to all the matters of state, as we are currently just a group of individuals that were caught up in the battle, and then hired, as we had little other option.
Such is the way of war.
Indeed.
I am one of the members of the Enclave. We encounter and confront the Armada as cautiously as we may. The more important question lies in the fact of what would be useful. What questions do you have that plague you that I might have a particular answer for?
Troop movements, where they may attack next.
Erratic, unpredictable.
I figured as
Those
such.
elements, it is hard to nail down one particular point. It is the whim of the Armada's flight masters, captains, admirals, and of course, their ruler.
I suspected we would not be so fortunate as to find battle plans laying around. They have proven themselves quite eager to not allow us to question their kin.
Indeed, I know of the thing you are referring to. It is a new development, one that we have not seen prior, and one that makes engagements against them fruitless. For no matter how clever a trap or ploy may be, what good is it if their troops simply regain number?
You are most correct.
We have discovered this in our own fortunate way, as where they linger, they are not able to grow old, they're not able to age, so by all accounts, you could encounter a Gith Zerai or a Gith Yankee, that has lived hundreds and thousands of years, depending on how much or how long they've chosen to be. Now, seems to have a true taste of a god touch. They would, on most accounts, like their servant, bartered Drake companions, have to grow here, mature on the material plane. My group and I have been tasked at occasion to dispose of these creches, and we have cleverly requested aid of those who would actively seek, by bravery, foolishness, or internal primal instinct, seek to destroy the roosts of their companions.
Collapse of civilized order indeed.
So, aside from the fact that they cannot be tracked, as they are practically ageless, what would you else like to know?
I imagine plenty, although I do not know the name of it. And I must admit, although I have ambitions to be of grander station, in this matter I am not truly in charge. May I, by your will, perhaps get you in contact with those who employ us?
We will not be stepped out into the open. This brief glimpse is as much as I am willing to let my team be at this time.
It is often it is often best to remain in the shadows in such situations. I suspect that is why indeed we have been hired as a random group of mercenaries. I just hope we are not disposed of it at the best convenience.
If you prove useful, and depending on the core morality of your leaders, I doubt that you would be disposed of. However, I have encountered many people who wouldn't hesitate to send you to some task that was inescapable.
The leaders, as far as I know, are just and good people, but politics does get complicated. Would you like me to inform our leadership that not all Gith are in support of the same cause, at least?
Make a persuasion check, King.
Nope.
Ow! That one hurt.
You may not, as given the secrecy required, I know not how many spies she has in your net, how many linger in your towns and cities. I will not risk my people's well-beings by announcing our presence to not only your kin, but to them.
A well thought out idea. Spies can be very insidious. You have my word that I will do my utmost not to reveal anything that has happened here in regards to your existence, your motives, or your being. However, as I said earlier, we are but a group of individuals. I turn now to my party to express whether they can commit to such a vow. To be clear, you guys, I am saying that will you be able to not refer to this matter?
Basically, you don't tell anyone about this encounter. Yeah.
Refer to what matter, sorry.
Exactly.
With our wings.
I nod, but I'm invisible.
If then
Oh, look
there
at
are...
that.
Eyes
Look at
do
everything
pass
later.
over you, Posey.
Yeah, I figured. But I'm nodding.
Speaking in your head, gotta know you're there.
If then there are no objections, as seems to be the case, I will take that as meaning we are in agreement.
And you begin seeing lights connecting up across the ship, one by one by one. And you begin hearing some sort of rumbling as the figure leans forward, as if, kneeling at the top of it, one leg at the high, one leg to low. And the ship begins to tilt back as it begins to float just about a few inches off the ground. It seems the repairs are finished.
Very well. We shall part ways. If you find yourselves in need of information or assistance, I am always happy to discuss and parley. Seek me by name. I am one king of the yet-to-be-formed unbound kingdom, should it come to pass.
You make many grandiose titles, names, and promises, none of which are needed, necessary, or appropriate. If we need you, it will be easier for us to find you than using your means.
Very well. I bid you good day.
Little one, why do you hesitate?
Sorry, I had a question. I was wondering if you could answer. That's.
You can just see their hands kind of like lean forward onto their knee and have kind of like clasped between each other with like a kind of downward relaxed posture almost to you. Waiting for your question.
There's some people went after some of these invaders to see if they could maybe stop them, and we haven't heard from them, and I was just wondering if you knew maybe potentially where they might have gone, or what may have happened to them.
There are several places they could have gone. Have you any notion as to what they might have been sent back on, or to?
It was when the big invasion happened, like one of the big portals that they came through, they like followed them through it.
There is a multitude of different things that could be encountered from that. If they believed it was worth the effort, they could have been killed. But, as seeing your response, your reaction, there are other ways that she has, in the past, detained people she wishes not to deal with. One of her hourglasses might have been used in this matter.
And what's one of those?
You can just see as they like present out their hand, an hourglass appearing that's got red dragons instead of, like, say, the supporting frame is like red dragons wrapped around it as like a design, and time pouring through. It has been used previously on some of our own. These hourglasses are chimed to particular portals. For you see, the whole point of one is to take you from one point to another. Usually it is just a cut and a hole to step through. Sometimes it is a tunnel. One side gets closed off and looped. And they could be very well in the same 6 seconds, hour, day, just on loop. potentially even entirely unaware of the fact.
You said your people have been entrapped by the snare before. Would you have any knowledge on how to dismantle it?
Either from one of her more entrusted lieutenants, or her herself, has an hourglass. The hourglass being shattered would result in the immediate release at the location of the hourglass of those individuals.
This is indeed worthwhile knowledge. Though I must ask
However,
now.
You would have to be encountering the Lich leader of the Gith Yankee.
This would be suboptimal.
Incredibly risky at the best case of the scenario. And whilst they are in whatever condition they were when they went in, they're definitely going to be vulnerable, if even briefly, afterwards. Magic like that is not meant to be pleasant on the person, but not fatal if they are released.
I must ask, in case we do decide to go down that path, not us personally necessarily, but as a force, is there anything that may have been captured by them that would be inappropriate to be released?
Anything captured by the Gith Yankee is something that they did not believe was worth killing or was too much of a danger to kill. They take special pleasure in the slow torture of mind flayers, so should you encounter them amongst that mix, burn them all. Their hatred for mind flayers is the same as ours. It's the only thing that ever made us agree on anything.
I don't imagine many like mind flayers, at least one hopes not.
Were your people enslaved by them for so many years that you forgot your true identity? Exactly.
Although I certainly would hope not. You are quite right in your hatred of them. We will be careful should we pursue that path to destroy any that we did not want freed then. Cue for the forewarning.
Fire. It's a very useful tool for that. And should you have empathy, or should you hesitate, I will say this as a point for yourself. When it comes to mind flayers, should you have any sympathy in your heart for others, a kind soul who does not wish for harm on others, remember you are dealing with an alien entity that will not hesitate to bore into your skull and devour your mind. You are nothing but a snack that walks, or a potential slave, or very worse, a host. They are to be cruelly, brutally, violently, and efficiently removed. And this is the first time, as they are speaking in your mind, you can, even when they were talking about Gith Yankee, this is the first time their voice has seemed like it's gotten on to the point of anger.
Any that take slaves are a blight on all civilization.
We do not need to hear further on this. But
Indeed.
we must now go. The ship is ready, and we intend to use it to its full advantage. And do yourselves a favor, don't try to make the other ship fly. Unless you have the necessary means, you will not be able to do so.
Where do you mean to go? Where are you going to take the ship?
I cannot disclose the location.
Why not?
I trust one or two maybe of you, but I'm not a fool. The information even being in your mind is a risk. If someone were to harm you or to try to force that knowledge from your mind, it exposes us. But I did say my crew was here to ruin, precious.
With that, I bid you farewell. Thank you for your time.
And thank you for yours. I am glad this has not turned to a moment of violence. They are unnecessary at best. Just pull up their hood, step away from the side of the ship, and just flick with their hand. And as they do, and it just begins rising up, as if there is just a force energy hitting the ground, causing the ship to rise. And it heads off.
Out of character, take it down.
Shoot her down! The ship turns around. Like, bitch, you just wet my ass!
Lo will immediately sort of
Throw the cheese! Yeah!
Sorry, Lo will immediately what?
Lo will immediately sort of reach for Kika's shoulders, almost as if to hug her, but sort of pauses for a bit, almost. Does she need it? Is she okay? I don't know. Like,
An offer for a hug is expressed to you, Kika.
Very willingly takes it. She sort of buries her face in your chest. You can feel her sobbing a little bit.
okay, it's okay. It's okay.
Certainly intriguing.
It's okay.
That might explain my vision.
What do you mean?
Well, if he said that she could have used a, time thing,
Time loop.
hourglass,
Hourglass.
my vision was of them just running toward a point.
I think that's all they're doing constantly.
Possible. Because they were the first response, and how powerful, at least my master was, and comparing the others,
I
pretty
mean, they're
powerful
also
people.
to drug addicts, so I don't know how.
Well, beside the point.
We should endeavour to leak this information so that it does not come back to us to question who we got that information from, as we have vowed not to reveal them.
I mean,
But
you
the
vowed
matters of
that.
the hourglass and the trap could be invaluable to us as a force against them. If we could leak it to one of the organisations I'm sure you are a part of, I am sure it will return to Netherwinter.
Do you want me to leak it? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
Please don't.
Runara, you are as subtle as a sledgehammer.
Remind me to play poker with you, and I'll turn visible again.
Yes, a voice comes from nowhere. You're like, not again! And then it's posing, but he takes the ring off.
Wittek in particular, I know your organisational connections will be most useful in that regard.
Well, trade people do kind of get information around pretty well.
I might be able to help with that as well. Not on like an organizational level, but just like if we want a rumor going round, I might be able to help.
I heard a rumor.
We'll start talking and travelling.
Perhaps.
When Legacy has to go down to the town to be like, okay, what NPC prompts are going to pop up now that give me another quest log? He goes, wait a second, what was that?
Was that about a fucking hourglass? What?
We'll talk as we travel, but
You fat gnome, come back here. With your rumor.
Where'd you hear this rumor? Well, I heard it from this merchant who heard it from that merchant, and it just came out of nowhere.
heard it for its cousin friend's dogs down there.
Legacy flying over all of
Merchant circles are
Neverwinter.
useful
Which
for
one of
something.
you motherfuckers started it? You.
This is exactly what King. This is why King isn't just going to rock up and say this, because Queen, as much as we love her, is very demanding of information.
As she should be. Her fucking daughter is there and her daughter-in-law.
It's also possible Netherwinter already knows this information. At any rate, although I really need a better name than the Netherwinter, there's
Why?
There seems to be a fair
It
few
works.
involved in this.
NW is cool.
I was thinking Waterdeep.
That's-
Oh, so it seems to be enemy of the Gith Yankee, as we shall
I mean, Neverwinter were
probably
pretty
now need to
keen
think of them.
to start being the response to it, so why not?
I'm wondering how they are travelling exactly. I doubt they're just flying on the material plane, as they have talk of portals. I don't suppose any of you know more than I on plane of travel,
Ah,
I mean,
beyond the
defi-
Feywild which we have all experienced.
I mean, define no. Experienced, yeah. But there's a difference between just experience something and like knowing information about it.
There's a difference between
Yeah,
being
yeah,
taken
good
on a
point.
car ride and driving.
There's no difference between driving and knowing how the car, how to put a car together
Yeah,
from
there's a
scratch.
difference between driving a car and being a mechanic. DM, should I make an intelligence check or something? You know Kika's backstory.
If you would like to, you may. To think portals.
The most neutral DM response.
You may
If you would like to, you may. Whoa! Kika knows everything.
I know about the planes.
Oh god, we're gonna have another
Hyperfixation area, here we go.
the Boeing, the Airbus.
Don't joke, I genuinely went on like an airplane Boeing like engineering trip when I was
I'm
like
not surprised,
12.
and I'm impressed.
And now we watch as Das types out. Oh,
Let's look at
that activates my fight or flight response.
Please don't! I have to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
What?
literally still to this day activates my fight or flight response.
Oh, hello there.
Are you there?
Are you
Are you
you
still
still
there? Oh, look, the disappointment is back. And it brought Wheatley.
Guys,
I
guys,
really
guys,
need to
guys,
replay that game.
Guys, folks, guys. King is GLaDOS.
Don't do this. Don't.
What's all A?
Don't do this.
Okay,
I mean,
carry on.
I can definitely
Tangent, move
imagine
on,
a
move
moment
on.
of Black Kith going, there's a lot of things we both said that you're going to regret.
Das, I've already done this for another D&D session. I've already done this for another D&D session. I don't need to do it for this one as well.
Rosie, would you like to help me with some tests?
No.
Oh,
No.
Too
I
bad.
My
I
final
was
flight response
gauging
to
your
GLaDOS questions is-
enthusiasm. Would you
I
like
just
to
want to go to
live?
Port Laws, please.
Would you like to live deliciously?
Please, can we end this bit?
Anyway.
We've both said a lot of things you're going to regret.
Alright, this bit's done. We're done with this bit. God damn it.
we're done.
This
we're
is
done,
the
we're done.
tangent.
I rolled a natural 20.
Yes.
Yes, you did. So, this is in regards to portals.
And planes, I think was what King specifically said.
Well,
Planes in regard to
Drown.
portals, to be fair.
well, I will say in regards to traveling between planes, then, if that
Yeah.
would be what you'd like.
Seems to be what I was looking.
Kika, you understand that certain planes are a lot easier to travel to than others. You have no training in regards to teleportation of any sort. But what you do know is that you can get to places like the Fae and the elemental planes much easier than you can most others, given that they are the closest on the... You understand the purpose of the ring, more or less, set up of some
Planar
things are
disc,
further
yeah.
and spread out further and further and further.
Okay, I know about the planar disc. Okay.
You're aware of the planar disc, and you're aware that there are spaces in between it where time doesn't really work. And within those planes, or in those spaces, that's just emptiness. That there's reason people use portals rather than traveling through them, because there's shit in there. But you have never heard much about it. It's just whenever it has been brought up about going between planes, if anyone doesn't refer to using a portal, they're called a fool. It's dangerous to try to physically go between them. However, you are aware that there are points where, I will say because it's Fey stuff, the Fey is the easiest representative. You are aware that, for example, with the Feywild, there are certain points in the world which are much easier to teleport to and from that require a lot less effort.
Yep, it's easy to fall down a rabbit hole.
Quite literally. If Serenus were here, it's like that's what he did for his frat parties. Falls down the rabbit hole. Way.
But yes, I assume Kika shares this information with us.
Oh yeah.
As best as her stuttery stuff can.
Oh. I think
This
it's
is. Sorry, what?
I'll talk about it after. Because I just kind of had a realization in terms of the planes and shit.
What?
The.
Again, it'll
This
be out
is-
of character after the end.
Oh, okay.
This is a good start. I must, given time, hopefully we'll find an opportunity to research the planes more thoroughly.
Yeah, they're coming up a lot, huh?
Seems pertinent to our current situation. And we're still traveling.
Yes, you are.
Talking
You
as
say-
we travel.
Did you say there were points in the plane where time works differently? Is that what you
Not
said?
the planes, between the planes.
Between-
Essentially,
Yeah,
The
between
bit
more or less
between-
the astral sea.
Kika,
for
did
that
you say
extent.
this?
Yeah. If anything, because she knows about it, then Kika will try to sort of loosely sketch in the back of your book, if you'll let her, the planar disc.
Sure.
And then points out, so like, you know, circle, here's a plane, circle, here's a plane, and then there's the astral, which is literally the space in between.
It's between the elemental and the outer plane?
No, it's like in between everything.
No, but is it?
I mean, yeah. It's between the elemental planes, it's between the material plane, it's between the Feywild, it's between
The inner planes, the outer planes, be
the outer
they
planes,
upper plane,
the
lower
upper
plane,
lower-
so on.
It's between everything. It's like the ocean in between countries. That's why that's probably why they
If-
call it the Astral Sea.
That is a good analogy.
If Kika's using my notebook,
Just the back page.
If you let her.
Posey will reach over and like take the. I'm assuming I've got like a quill link,
Mm-hmm.
and she will like draw a line between the elemental and the outer plane, and she will just write audacity.
What? How do you know that?
I asked the moon. I was gonna tell you, but I didn't know what it meant.
Does this name have meaning to you?
I mean, Kika basically like flicks through to the front of the book where the family tree was drawn. It's just like
Posey quickly grabs the book and goes to the very specific page, so you don't go through all of it.
points. Yes. Rosie, why didn't you say this earlier?
Audacity
'Cause-
is one of the sons of Legacy.
Yeah.
One of the
Dun
princes
dun
who is
dun!
currently in a plight.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun!
We can end the
like I
session
said,
there. You said the name. We can end the session.
We can end it. It can end. Finally, at last, we're free. I didn't know what it meant. I was trying to talk to King about it.
That was one of the reasons I wanted to research the subject.
Yeah, I got an answer, but I didn't think it meant anything.
You should have said all of us. If you ask more people, then you're more likely to get an answer.
I thought I would find out, and I did,
heard-
kind of.
Yeah, from me.
Talking,
To her
talking,
defense-
using sound that comes out of our mouth is very useful.
Thank you.
To her defense, she only asked me as of last night while we were sharing a watch. She thought my studies may have made me somewhat expertise on the matter, but it seems Kika was more qualified.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
The words, use your words. Good.
I did.
Words
Just
are good.
not in the right place.
Yes, words are good in the right place.
But I'm telling you now.
Talking good. Talking good. More talking.
And
more talking. Well,
I am.
No more talking. Not more talking, but like, you know what I mean.
I can ask more tonight, but I've been trying to work out.
Okay, cool, okay.
Thank you for
This
telling
is
me.
the point where we say where words are good. What are you thinking of asking them? Come on. No, just sort of does as usual.
I suppose
and
my
sit
question is, you are very excited to have this information as soon as possible, which I must ask then what you feel you will do with this information.
Kind of nothing. I that's kind
I
of
was
why
referring
I
to
wasn't
Kika.
Be
You
quiet.
seem to be upset that the information was not given to you earlier. What had you hoped to gain from this information?
Well, if it helps us work out where some of the people are, it means we're one step closer to getting them out and finding them.
You understand, of course, that she had no understanding of these words specifically meaning a place or a person.
I
Did
guess.
any of us?
Posey's just kind of nodding, like, yeah, King's got marionette rights.
I guess.
I am sorry, though.
Now, more importantly, you said you were going to ask her the more questions. He points up at the sky. Now, what are the questions? Important.
I mean, I can ask him anything. I
Yeah, what
frequently
questions-
ask him everything.
So you mentioned specific questions. What questions were you thinking of?
Well,
I mean,
Kika would know since she is interested in matters revolving around it.
I was just going to ask, if they know that, then maybe they know about others. But I don't know if they're all in the same place. I just talk to the moon all the time, and sometimes the moon says things back that I don't necessarily understand.
Yes, you might not understand it. Well, we might be able to understand it together as a group.
Yeah.
We're in this together.
We have only been travelling for a short amount of time, but it probably is a good point for future reference to announce mysteries that we wish to be unravelled as a group.
We share things with the group.
Mm-hmm.
First rule of traveling together as a group. You share everything in the group.
I just kind of nod. Gingerly takes notebook back.
Give me it back.
Randomly mumble something in Infernal and then just goes back into Common again.
Okay, the only answer I have for you is you met them in passing, speaking once. Not much.
That's enough. They didn't know who I am.
Of course, now the awkward silence hangs over the cart as we travel.
Yep.
As we travel
I'm
along
sitting at the back of
road.
the cart. I have my notebook. I am writing in it.
Forward movement, people!
You know, I'm kind of glad that I have my own mount now.
Yeah, you don't have to deal with the cart awkwardness.
'Cause I'm just, like,
Motherfucker,
going
let
ahead.
me on there.
Wait, are you on your map?
Give me the out.
Are you not in the cart?
He's
I'm
absolutely on his
slightly
mount.
ahead.
Doesn't need to.
Basically keeping
neither is King. She's got a Phantom Steed.
For an hour.
She can cast the ritual. There's nothing that stops me from casting the ritual on the steed. So, you know.
I would say you're not
And
able to cast the spell whilst the spell is active.
Oh, really? Okay.
I would say you're not able to do that because otherwise people would permanently keep things like detect magic up.
Yeah, but you ran out of spell slots.
Yeah, and?
No, you
Yeah.
can do it because you have a warlock thing that lets you do it for free. There's a difference.
Warlock thing.
That's
Attack, just warlock thing.
Okay,
Can I ask you a spellcasting question?
you may ask me a spellcasting question. I might laugh in your face, but go on.
No, it's just quite simple. The verbal component of the sending spell, is that literally saying the message, or do you have, or can you not?
Yes.
You have to say the message. Okay, that's fine.
You have to say, "Hello, I am Jester. Are you pooping?"
Yeah.
Do, 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 do,
You
do.
can reply to this message.
Which is why everybody got mad at me whenever I was playing Buckley and went, "Hey, Crowbottom, how you doing?"
And everyone went.
"I'm sorry."
I think I had the biggest reaction because I was going, "That motherfucker did what?"
Excuse me
That's
while
a-
I just
that's-
cold call the big bad evil
That's
guy.
that's some big dick energy messaging the bad guy.
I know. Just ringing
I don't
the
know.
boss.
Yo, Blackie,
Anyway,
it's your girl, Renara.
Tangent.
Tangent.
The big evil thing is holding your treasure. Of course you have a good peek. Sure, that could go wrong.
Oi, fucker! I'm coming for you.
Okay, so we continue our travels.
Could I request a little RP thing with Kika?
Sure, Jane. You're traveling.
Hey, Booper, you feel like talking for a bit? Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe I'll feel like listening.
Okay. How I say it? How to put this? So I'm still in the process of joining the family, and I just wanted to say that I know I'm not going to be the greatest replacement for Kayak, but I just want to know that I'm trying my best.
Though you're not supposed to be a replacement for Kayak. You're your own person. Kayak is Kayak and you're you.
What I'm trying to say is, if you need a shoulder or I don't know, antler, if you can do that, I don't know. If you need someone to listen and look out for you, I mean, I'm here.
Thank you.
The cousin 3, 4, 5 magic thing twice removed. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
She just sort of like rests her head on your shoulder.
Yeah, that helps. Cool. So wraps an arm round. Cool. You look out for me and I look out for you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
As you continue to make your way over a few days.
Kay raises the shenanigans finger.
I will not allow you to have any 0.5s, motherfucker. You do it here.
No, it's just some nighttime activity.
Nighttime activity.
Oh.
Not that sort of nighttime activity.
Not that time.
Okay.
In
Sorry,
the middle
Lil,
of the
respect
forest.
People are done it in weird places.
I'm gonna send you the first one.
Christ. Ah, get
Okay, it says that.
I already know I'm written up the rules for send.
I know what he's doing. It's oof.
Send that to that person.
You can say it out loud, Kay.
Nah, I can't do that though.
Terrible.
Send that to that
Speaking of
person.
spies,
Just whispering into his palm.
Basically.
If the second one replies to me, then there will be another message sent. You can say these out loud, the replies if you want, but you ain't got to tell them who it's from. If that's easier. 5% chance if they're on a different plane for it to fail. If that's what you're looking up.
Or is he just reading your message
just
very
counting.
closely?
I'm just
Oh,
counting.
I've counted them. Don't worry, I've counted.
No, I'm counting as well because I trust you, motherfucker, but I also don't trust you, motherfucker.
I'm not going to slip in. Are you pooping when I'm on 24 words? Don't worry. It was all one word. Are you pooping?
Well, Wittig counts as 2 words for fun fact.
What?
Oh well, no, the waiting name wasn't in the message. Spoiler alert.
What? Huh?
You bitching about me,
I think
motherfucker?
that one's got 21 words anyway, so you
Is
can
it?
count that too.
Is it all one word? It's hyphenated.
I count Spider-Man, so
Yeah, it technically would be one.
Yeah,
technically,
under the word.
but I'm one of those
under the word
motherfuckers that goes, nah, motherfucker, you gotta use 2 for that bitch.
It's under the word count.
I know, you're fine, you're under the word count, but I was checking it.
can you use words in different language to, that mean multiple things?
No.
Richard really confused the person you're messaging.
I'm not letting that game start being played, motherfucker.
Is anti-disparagitarianism still one word?
Shut up.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious straight up just takes your action. That's it. You don't have any
Just saying it, not even changing it. Just saying that word. It's your action. Done. That's an action to say it.
Yeah.
It is 6 seconds to say it.
Expialidocious, all the things to do are quite
But speech is a
atrocious.
free action, but that uses your actual action.
And I would find it funny if Renara just came up to me and go, "Hey, Wittig, how do you say your name in Gnomish?" I was just like, "Oh yeah, it's just simple this," and it's like, "Oh, cool." Just jot it down.
Why does it translate to the word bitch?
He would.
Wit is metal, and tick is bitch. Metal bitch in Nomis.
Why do I feel that Wittig in Infernal would be the noises that came out of an old dial
Motorbike.
modem?
Vroom. Anyway, so
Go on.
your first sending spell is blocked.
Ooh.
Like blocked in the sense that
Blocked as in
it's in
make
a
an
plane.
intelligence saving throw.
Oh
Oh,
dear.
tits.
Oh.
Strong start, Kay. Your excellent plan that you made.
Oh, this is going so well.
-1, you weren't kidding.
Well, we'll see what that's like at the end of this.
Oh god, there's dice being rolled. You're a fool. You're a fool of a toot, Kay.
So maybe the second sending message.
I was going to say,
even
I am
happened.
also doing something this evening, so this might be the start of bad decisions that are being
How much-
made by
how much
certain
psychic
young
damage
bitches
do
in
I
this
take?
plan.
Well, I rolled the dice, but because you rolled that low below the DC, you take double.
I'm dead, right?
No,
Go on.
you just have a massive nosebleed as you immediately take 18 points of
Intelligence damage.
Intelligence.
psychic damage.
Like,
Hold on.
Big
80 or 18?
18.
Two very different. That's a different
Very
reaction.
different numbers, yes. I would not have been able to count 40 on a bunch of D6s that quickly.
Okay, then.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. D6 is fucked.
like you've just walked into a room
So-
and
Everyone's
everyone's having.
So I will say this. That spell doesn't go through. Because for the
Please.
next 24 hours, Runara is dumbfounded.
Oh,
Shall we say.
oh no.
As in under the effect of the spell that I can't remember the name of.
Temporarily under the effects of the spell Feeble Mind.
Nice. Second message does not happen.
Well, it doesn't happen for 24 hours.
Yeah.
When you regain from a long rest,
Then I can.
you then wake up to the equivalent of if Harshnag just stomped on your skull.
So I'm feeble-minded for 24 hours, basically.
Feeble-minded for 24
after
hours.
the first sending
Yes.
spell. Okay.
You guys watch as Runara, whoever's on watch with her at the time, says the words,
Probably me,
I am a
because there's something
friend
I
of...
wanted
Yes.
to do.
Well, Runara, Posey, you're there, like, waiting, like, preparing to do something. You hear, I am a friend of Wittek. Do you know where you are? What can we do to get you And as that happens, blood from both of her nostrils.
Read feeble-minded. No.
And blood from her ears.
Well, that will change my plans slightly. I will.
So my intelligence and charisma become 1.
You are able to distinguish friend from ally, but you cannot cast. No magic.
Okay, but just.
Okay, but
Am I specifically under what you've just said, or am I under the effect of the Feeble Mind spell? Like exactly what it says on the Feeble Mind spell.
I mean, if you want to give him 10 minutes to read it, you nitpicker.
No, I mean in the sense that are my charisma and intelligence scores 1?
They are.
And I can't understand language. Or
You
communicate
can't
in
understand language or communicate in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. That's fine. It's quite a short spell description actually. That's fine. That's fine. I've got it. I'm just gonna sit there and just mong out and just stare forward for a little bit.
Well.
I'm not gonna wake up the next person for the next watch.
Nope.
Oh, good. This changes my plans slightly.
Great.
Posey, you're looking across as Runara was saying the sentence, and as she just like has her arms just dropped down and just like she's alive, but she's kind of just lobotomized temporarily.
Posey had like got up and like as Runara had begun casting things, she went and sat at the other side and got her notebook out and was like looking up at the moon and like getting ready to have a chat. And then just Runara error 404s on her peripheral vision. She's like, Runara, are you good?
You hear a voice from a very pretty thing that's across the way. You know it's a friend. But
I kind of look up at the moon and go,
God
okay,
knows what it
I have some questions for you, but give me just a sec, okay? I'm gonna go over to Runara and like, be like, hey, bud. I don't need to read. Fucking hell. And like, I'm gonna put my hand on her shoulder.
It's a friend. You know they're a friend.
Just look at her and smile.
I imagine it's like
it's not
parents
a normal smile. It's a very weird sort of what the fuck is wrong with you?
There's nothing there. Smile, yeah.
I imagine it's like you're listening to the parents from Peanuts.
Oh god.
Not too far of an in the scripture.
All I can hear is fucking Pingu.
Fucking hell. You know it's a friend.
Oh yeah.
Posey, Pingu, same thing.
Exactly. There's zero difference between those two things. Basically, I will confusedly try and help in any way I can. But obviously, there is nothing I can do.
Make a medicine check out of your own curiosity, because let's see if you can figure out what's going on.
This is a wisdom-based roll? Are you joking me?
Well, what you'll know is that the nosebleed will eventually stop. The ear bleeding will eventually stop.
Ooh, that's also good. There should not be blood coming out of ears.
Runara's not talking.
There's nothing
Runara is reacting.
This is so tricky when
they can understand. Like it's clear that Runara can understand. Well, not understand. Can comprehend. Can receive. Is able to. That is an audio.
Yeah.
I can comprehend that person's making a noise, but I want no idea what they're saying.
Exactly.
Because I don't know language.
Oh, what would Posey even do?
King. I need an adult.
Yeah, literally. King. Medic.
You guys turn around for your chest.
You guys think I'm fucking joking?
Yep. Now we look around.
And Runara is
actually, this might be a
Winnick
situation.
Just drooling a little bit.
Probably when once you've called us over and we see you with that, we'll be like, oh,
fuck.
This might be a Widdick problem. I mean, not a problem because of Widdick, but because a problem Widdick might be able to address. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I don't know
I hear
anything.
Rudara say my name earlier.
Yes, you did, and then like at the very end of the line, just like the equivalent of she just got smacked so hard she stopped what she was saying, but now she's bleeding.
Are we under attack?
I mean, I will go and check, but I don't think so.
Are you
I
about
would
to ask
throw my
me,
crossbow
has
and,
Roman Nomrin ever used this on someone?
No, I mean, like, yes, but no.
No.
I figured he
Roman,
wouldn't.
Roman don't feeble mind motherfuckers. He ain't like that.
Yeah.
If
I figured that.
nobody stops me, I'm probably going to mage hand and wake up everyone else because, as far as whether we're under attack or not, the cleric seems to be bleeding.
Well, that I can fix. I could just play a hand.
Runara, big metal man, heal good with soft warmness. They are good friend-shaped big person.
You remove ouchie.
Wait,
Pain no more.
What do I get? Do I get actual what?
Laying hands.
I'm not gonna use the whole pool. I'll probably use about like 15 of the pool.
I mean, for 46, I rolled very low. But
Yeah.
I did just make it a case of, this is hers, and you roll way below the DC, you get slapped harder.
Just really enjoy blood across my face.
Currently going, this floor is made of floor.
No, they
'Cause
don't
I
have a
don't-
concept of what the floor is.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what to do, I am going to get my crossbow and I'm just gonna like check the like tree line. Like I'm gonna go like do a radius around the camp.
Sure.
But I know there's nothing there. But
Make
that's
a
what
survival
I-
check anyway for the sake of it.
Another
Just
wisdom
watching-
roll. Come
just
on,
watching
dude.
Kay.
There we go.
Look, I'm feeble-minded. Just leave me.
I love the
Kay's doing a bunch of really good prop work at the moment.
Like Travis, petrified.
Prop work is the soul of D&D.
Ain't nobody fucking with you tonight, Posey.
No, my heckles are up now.
You heckling people?
She's heckling all of you.
Is that a Britishism? I don't know.
What? How?
I have a
How?
tankard in character.
I know,
by the way.
I know.
This is-
I just have a look at Kay.
I can tell
Just a
from how
second.
you're acting. As
Kay,
the rest
I'm just
of the
picturing,
group
like-
This is
woken
now
up.
the rest of the stream is just going to be watching Kay having to RP this
Don't
out.
do this. Don't do
As
this.
the rest of the group been
No.
woken up and
Someone
like,
fix me
we-
quick. Let's skip to the next
it
3 days of
explained?
travel, please.
has it explained
Well, unless
what's
someone has a
happened?
greater restoration, ain't nobody fixing you.
Has anybody
wish bell.
explained what's happened? The rest of us
No one
been-
knows what's happened.
No, I mean, has the rest of us been woken up and they've gone, something is wrong
Yeah.
with
Yes,
Renara?
King
Okay.
has woken everyone up. As Renara
So-
is just poured their mug over their face, and then a moment later go, ah.
Probably a shorthand this. We're alarmed. We're not sure if we're under attack, but over a while
Everyone
we're
has
just
a
like,
night of
okay.
anxiety until the next morning when Renara wakes up and she's like 24 hours pass and she's no longer nosebleeded. So
Yeah.
in the middle of the night, as she was like, don't be happy, sleepy, suddenly, oh! All at once.
What, are we skipping to the next night now? Is that what
I
we're
mean,
doing?
realistically,
You're
Yeah,
back to
yeah,
normal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I will
you-
save
you-
what I was going to do for future.
you wake up with a
One of
killer
the
headache.
subsequent night.
Do I get?
Yeah, probably, it's probably like after you've been to the dentist where you're like, you know,
Why-
that
why my
stuff
mouth
is finally
open?
worn
Feel
off.
good.
hold on, someone bite my face.
Like, yes,
No,
I
what
seem
really
to
happens
remember.
is essentially, you wake up to the sound of ringing, and it's your ears, and it fucking hurts. But you look around very
That's
briefly,
it.
and you're not with your friends. You're not lying down. There's a long, grey-skinned, bony hand gripping over the top of your head. And you can just see 2 red eyes piercing into you. Don't do that again. And your head smacks against the ground as you wake up.
Why do our clerics always message the wrong person?
You know how you force
No more clerics. We have
just hear
moved
clerics.
past the need for clerics.
Clerics are forbidden to have the sending spell.
That wasn't
Clerics
a
are forbidden
message.
to have sending.
One-
I'm putting this law
one-
down.
I mean, the last one
One
was right.
cleric uses it
That's a
properly
scribe, not a message.
for pen pal purposes, but other than that,
Clerics
Cody
of,
uses it for pen paling. The rest of you
Clerics-
motherfuckers commit war crimes.
clerics of Verona are not smart.
Clerics are forbidden
We're not-
from having sending.
If,
Cleric Muradin aren't that smart.
No, I mean,
Clerics
Funny enough, that
no.
also works for Durin.
Durin
Why
was
is always
Verona
the fucking
as well.
clerics? I'm gonna strangle both
Okay.
of you.
tangent.
Wait, so where are we now? Are we the next night? Click, I'm
Basically,
back.
in the middle of the night, you wake up to like common sense, as there's probably one or two people on thing, and it is the equivalent of, you know, that feeling where you feel like you're falling, that your brain puts you through, and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just
yeah,
wake
yeah,
up.
yeah.
It's
I
like that,
yeah.
except you actually hit the ground. And boom.
oh,
Do I remember being dumb for the last 24 hours? Like, remember what I saw, at least.
No. It's all a haze.
the,
Last
So,
thing
like-
you remember is you were trying to speak a spell to someone, and then a hand grabbed your head and said, "Don't do that again," and whack.
the like minute that Renara is like up and talking. Be like, Renara,
Where are we?
I'm gonna
Day's travel.
walk up and give her a big hug.
Hey, what's up?
You okay?
I've got a bit of a headache. Like,
Well, you're talking, so that's progress.
What do you mean?
You
I mean,
weren't talking much.
I was asleep.
In a way. You know what? Don't worry. Don't worry about it. It's fine. You're here now, and everything's okay.
am I awake?
You should get some sleep.
Very quickly, you
I'm gonna-
probably one or two
Just
of you will
asleep.
eventually wake up, going, "What?
Yeah, I probably
Wait.
did not rest really until.
No."
I was. Last thing I. Wait, hold on.
Don't worry about it. You're okay.
Renara isn't quiet because it's that thing of, "Oh, I'm hungover. I don't know how loud I'm being."
I was sending a message.
And then
and
you
then I-
started bleeding out of your face holes, and then you couldn't
I mean,
speak
I
for a
hope, someone,
while.
I hope someone cleaned her up because she'd have dry blood all up her face right now.
We probably would have.
Okay, it's fine.
Maybe. Who knows?
I might
Where's
have.
that? Where's
If nobody else did, King would have hand-fed
Yeah, I was
you
gonna
for
say
5 days.
either me or King would have.
You were cleaned by friends.
Somebody with prestidigitation probably.
Yeah.
Just
do I
Yeah,
remember
you
the,
couldn't.
Sorry,
Oh.
do I remember the bit with
Hand?
what I assume? Yeah, that bit.
that's the only thing you remember.
I remember sending
And
the
when you
message.
begin
that,
trying to
and then
describe
waking up.
it, the words get caught in your throat.
Oh shit, me. Okay.
It's always fun when that
Poked a
happens.
hornet's nest, huh?
Oof.
But yeah, you can talk, and I'm gonna be honest. I panicked a little
don't
bit,
tap the glass. You disturb
Um,
the fish.
Right.
but you're okay now.
I think so.
You should sleep.
I don't.
I'm going to go
Um,
and sleep.
Okay. Just gonna lay down. But-
Yeah, good idea. I'll be over here. I'm gonna go over there and sleep. What I was gonna do, I'll do a different night of the travel because I'm clearly not doing it now.
Yeah. That second one, I won't do that right now. I'll tell you when I'll do that, but it won't be for a few nights.
Okay. And Nemo's gone.
We lost him.
Well, as you guys are continuing your travels and you make your way eventually towards Carhold, you're probably about half a mile out, and you can already see smoke rising. And that's where we're going to leave the session.
Oh, God
Oh
damn
my
it.
God.
Fuck.
Here we go again.
I really, part of me kind of wishes that feeble one wasn't just during travel time, because 24 hours of that would have been fucking amazing.
Oh my god, no.
No.
I'd have loved,
No.
I'd have loved to RP 24 hours of that.
I mean, to be
No,
fair,
you
to be-
wouldn't have.
It is a challenge for UK because you have to be like a character who goes, "Wait, I can't think. Fuck."
I just have to be dumb. That's what I've got to do. I
You
mean,
just
being
get to-
dumb.
you just get
comes
Himbo
naturally.
on.
You gotta be your natural self.
You
Thanks,
just get to meme
thanks.
with stuff that's on your desk.
Yeah, I was
And
in
then
the wall.
there's-
I was looking through Runa's inventory and was like, she wouldn't have glasses. That was a fake prop. But I saw a tankard. I was like, I've got one of those. could have brought. Oh
Anyway,
no, I won't. I
end
won't
the
bring that
stream.
onto the camera because that's against Twitch terms service. But end the stream.
Alright, bye everybody, we'll see you next week.
Take care, everyone. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.